Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparkcast Episode 4. I am your host, Gina Phillips, here to chat all things Spark. Now, this is Episode 4, which means there are 3 awesome episodes that you have to listen to if you have not heard it yet. For instance, in Episode 3, we chatted about Durham Regional Technology Development Site, and we talked about EV and smart mobility and smart community solutions, all that good stuff. So if you're into that, you need to stop what you're doing, go back, listen to those episodes, and then join us again for this one. And also, if you're into that kind of stuff, Spark Center's next Startup Grind event is on October 27th, which is being sponsored by the Durham RTDS, so you don't want to miss that. You can check out Spark Center's social channels for more information and to register. And as always, don't forget to visit the sparkmagazine.ca. You can check out Spark Center's quarterly business and innovation magazine. You can catch it online to see what's happening in Eastern Ontario. And the media kit is also available on the website, so if you're interested in advertising in the magazine, you can do that as well. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. We've got 2 awesome guests standing by. We've already been chatting a bit, so I feel like I know them already. We have Scott Runté. He's the CEO and entrepreneur in residence at Launch Lab. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Gina, great to be with you today.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you. And honestly, I'm reading your resume here. I'd have to start a whole new episode of a podcast just to cover off all of your accomplishments.
Well, you're too kind. Just promise me you won't fact check everything, okay?
Oh, it's that kind of resume. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, you never know when I might need a new job, so that's right. We try to keep it polished.
You can use me as a reference anytime.
That's awesome.
Now,
that's awesome.
You are a leader with deep experience in Eastern Ontario's economic development ecosystem. How did you get to be such a leader in that space?
Well, I'm flattered to have you use the term leader. I think, I don't think of myself that way. I think of myself as being really passionate about helping entrepreneurs. And, from an Eastern Ontario perspective, as a boy that was born in Montreal, my parents moved to Cornwall. We slowly, moved up the St. Lawrence River, went to school in Kingston at a little university there, and, met my wife. Moved to Toronto, spent some time there, and then found ourselves around 1991 with an opportunity to come back to Eastern Ontario. And, we've raised our family there, lived in Kingston all that time. But I've spent a lot of time doing different things from Ottawa and throughout Eastern Ontario. So the region, I'm very passionate about the region. Early in my career, after a couple of university degrees, my father decided to, with a couple of partners, invest in a small manufacturing company they here in Eastern Ontario that had the opportunity to expand its product line and grow it predominantly into the United States. And I had the opportunity to get involved with that company, and it really formed the first entrepreneurial experience that I had. Fast forward, I got to spend some time in Ottawa when the Ontario government was looking at forming the Ministry of Research and Innovation and really looking at how do we support entrepreneurs who are starting, growing, and scaling companies. And so I had an opportunity to be at the forefront of what we were trying to do in the province of Ontario, and that led me into the Regional Innovation Center ecosystem, first with Ottawa and then with Launch Lab. My passion is, the mentorship side of this, the opportunity to work with companies, bring, maybe a little bit of my experience and those of my fellow teammates. But we like to say that a lot of times our advice is given with humility, never arrogance, because you don't have enough podcasts in the season for me to tell you about all the mistakes I've made. I try to share those with my clients so that they can avoid making those dumb mistakes. So that's a little bit about me.
No, you sound like a really good leader. You've got a good sense of what people need to succeed, right? And it'll be interesting to dive deeper into Launch Lab. But standing patiently by is our second guest of the day. So I'll introduce her first before we get into everything. Michelle Shurland-Jadoo, the Director of Client Services and Operations of Spark Center. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Gina. Nice to be here.
Yeah, really nice to meet you. Now, you have directed and managed the client services team, delivering growth generating services that accelerate clients' progress through advisory, education, and networking. That is a big mouthful, but you have been essentially at the center of working with clients. So, what has that been like for you?
It's been a journey of service and a really exciting one, and it's quite unique because coming close to innovations created by smaller companies is really unique, and it's been exciting to see the growth of some companies. They put us to the test. They sometimes we anticipate that they will be faster in their launch, but things take time, and it's just great to be there to serve clients, to help them throughout their business growth, and give them all that they need. We act like a surrogate company, Spark Center itself, as a regional innovation center, we really are here to put everything we've got into it, including our partnerships as well.
That's great. So we've got Spark Center and we've got Launch Lab here, a fellow regional innovation center based in Kingston. So Scott, tell us a bit about Launch Lab. What are you launching exactly?
Well, I guess, yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, I guess what we try to do is to the extent companies are starting, launch them on a path of success. And, when I think of Eastern Ontario, and all of the work we do and really everything we do, I think about strategically two things. One, being a catalyst for innovation in Eastern Ontario, and being a voice for innovation would be the second. And so, I'm Launch Lab. Its technical term is a regional innovation center, just like Spark Center. We're both Spark and Launch Lab are one of 17 organizations across the province. We're highly connected, and we all share the goal of wanting to help entrepreneurs as they're starting, growing, or scaling. In Launch Lab's case, while our head office is in Kingston, we are serving a fairly broad geography from the Quebec border in the Cornwall region, along the St. Lawrence River and into Lake Ontario, really to the borders of Northumberland County, where our friends at Spark Center take over. We get north into the rural economy of Eastern Ontario, and we really come up around the western border of Ottawa. So it's quite a large geography. I have a staff of 4 currently, and I have about 7 advisors or entrepreneurs and residents that are working with 100 to 125 clients a year. Our core competency is very simply one-on-one mentorship, often working with clients on a confidential basis, helping them to hopefully make the best possible decisions as they grow.
Wow, that's so cool. And yeah, Ontario is huge. I drove around it recently in the summer. Oh my goodness. So very cool that you're serving all those different areas. Now, when it comes to being an entrepreneur in residence, because that's what you are with Launch Lab, what has that experience been like?
Well, humbling and very, I guess both humbling and I would say it's an honor. I mean, it's an honor to be able to sit down with entrepreneurs who, first and foremost, you have to build a relationship of trust. They are sharing, their journey with you, in the hopes that you're going to be able to help them. If you were meeting me for the first time as an entrepreneur in residence, you'd hear me say things like, I don't want to waste your time. It's the most valuable commodity you have right now. You can fire me anytime you need to. You can hire me when you need to. You're in control of this relationship. And it's often very customized. I often will say to an entrepreneur, tell me what success looks like for you and your business, 1 year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10. It's not how I would run your company. I need to understand what your vision is, and then can my team and I perhaps provide some advice to you to help you make the best possible decisions. That really is the cornerstone of every relationship. I should say we can't do it without partners like Spark Center. Our partnership list is both deep and broad. We're a small organization, and whether it's the economic development agencies, the community futures development corporations, the universities, the colleges, the list goes on as to the types of organizations across the region that help us meet the clients that we're trying to provide support to.
Yeah, collaboration sounds key. So Michelle, what has it been like collaborating with Launch Lab?
Oh, well, it really started through, a great relationship between Sherry and Scott from the inception when they met. And it's really a journey of, as Scott said, trust and respect. And, coming together, bringing the meeting of the minds to support each other on, how are we treating clients, how we can support, how we can share services. And so we've partnered with Scott's team through education and awareness sessions, offering these sessions to our clients in aggregate, advisory expertise. Sherry's been an advisor to some of Scott's Amplify student clients. And also Scott has been on the advisory board of one of our key clients as well. And so, the Amplify program is one that we share our time on. Advisory through Scott's time with us on the Synergy program, offering mentorship to international clients, and also the EOIC, which is the Eastern Ontario Innovation Collaboration, Eastern Ontario Innovation Corridor, which is a collaboration of ourselves and other like-minded centers like ourselves to bring together resources, because we can't do it all alone. And, there's strength in numbers, and our clients like to see that we are a central hub to giving them all that they need in this time of their life. So we have been excited to always collaborate. We also share documentation and best practices, and Sherry and Scott have had numerous opportunities and quite regulated opportunities every month to help each other as CEOs of regional innovation centers. So it's been quite admirable.
Absolutely. That sounds really cool. Now, Scott, if there's an entrepreneur out there listening and maybe considering the Amplify program, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say I'd first love to meet them. I think, it's the beautiful thing about our Amplify program and all of the programs, as I said earlier, is we really try to customize it to, the client, where they are, the stage they're at, what their vision is for their company. And so we don't ask them to come into, a program that meets every Wednesday morning from 9 to 11. It's kind of prescribed. We understand that every entrepreneur's journey is different, and we really want to try and understand how we can fit into supporting them. I would say, under our Amplify program, Gina, our experience, when I talked about that 100 to 125 companies that we work with, from a revenue perspective, those clients vary from zero to probably, in the tens of millions of dollars would be our largest client. What is common to every one of our clients, I find, is it is it is always the owners or the founders of the company that are running that company. And so, my largest client in that tens of millions of dollars with, 50, 60, 70 employees, it's two founders running that company. And they don't have that fully integrated cross-functional management team in place. And yet they're making big decisions that can really impact, the direction of the business. And so they find that our Amplify program, that regular, customized, advisory support for their management decision-making, valuable because they don't have that fully integrated management team in place yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I would start by saying, let's meet, let's get to, on a confidential basis, tell me a little bit about your journey. Tell me what your challenges and opportunities are. I'll be the first one to.
Can I, just for fun? You keep offering. Great. I'll call you after this. Now, Michelle, if someone is listening, if they are interested in finding out more about the Amplify program, where can they go to find more information?
First, for the Spark Centers Amplify, I'd encourage them to connect with me firstly. And I'm at Shurland-Jadoo, SHURLANDJADOO at sparkcenter.org. Otherwise, in the near future, they can go to our website, which is www.sparkcenter.org under services, and they would find an application to the Amplify program there.
Thank you so much, Michelle Shurland-Jadoo and Scott Runté. Thank you for breaking this down for me. It was really nice to meet you two. And let's chat again. I would love an update about how the Amplify program is going, and we'll have to meet at a later date. Thank you, everyone, to listening. Wow, I almost made it all the way through without messing it up. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it. This is Sparkcast, brought to you by Spark Center. Man, trust myself to mess up the final few seconds, huh? If you want to learn more about Spark Center's quarterly business and innovation magazine, The Spark, you can visit thesparkmagazine.ca to subscribe. And stay tuned for next month's episode. And if you're interested in becoming a Spark Center client or would like to learn more, be sure to visit sparkcenter.org. Thanks to you both, and thank you everyone listening. I'm Gina Phillips.